Hi everyone, it's Joe from WhatCulture.com, and we are here with a very special edition of the pre-show podcast. I know I did say that we weren't going to do any over the Christmas break, but I thought I'd treat you guys. If you like the sound of my voice, then yay! If you don't, then oh well.
But still listen, because it's a really good show.
This is a show that I've been excited to cover for some time. And I must give my thanks to Jack the Jobber, who has once again dedicated some of his time on his holiday to come and speak to me about all things wrestling.
I just love wrestling so much.
How are we doing, Jack? Did you enjoy your Christmas?
I did, thank you very much. It was very chilled, very relaxed. What about you?
I had a very, very nice and relaxed Christmas.
Yeah, lovely.
I may occasionally throw a beer or two at you in this episode of the podcast.
And today, of course, is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
What an unfortunate time of year for it to be your birthday.
I have nothing for that, Jack.
I guess, you're probably used to it.
Yeah.
Happening amongst all Christmas and that.
At 24 years old, I'm sort of used to it.
Never mind,
But that is why we have a beer. It's going to be a nice laid-back episode of the podcast because... Well, I was going to throw a beer at you, but you've decided to pick one up because I left them nice and handily on the shelf over there. We're going to talk about one of our favourite things in wrestling. New Japan.
My promotion of the year for 2016.
Yes, mine as well.
It was great.
My promotion of the year, my show of the year, my match of the year, my wrestler of the year.
All
of it. New Japan is just so good.
They're knocking it out of the park. It's crazy.
And, of course, we are going to talk about the one thing that opens up wrestling in 2017 in terms of main companies. We are, of course, going to talk about Wrestle Kingdom. Oh my god, this show's looking so good already.
The card is incredible, and it, we don't know any of the other cards this year really, but it's going to be show. It's going to be card of the year. It's going to be show of the year.
Yeah, it easily. I said this about Wrestle Kingdom last year. I watched that. I've only recently just got into New Japan.
Yeah.
And I watched Wrestle Kingdom fairly early last year.
Yeah, right.
And I already said this is going to be the card of 2016. Yeah. And it got card of 2016.
We don't know that for certain. Like, every match could disappoint, but the matchups they've got, the variety, the storylines, it's all looking like nothing can top this for the rest of sort of 2017. We never know that for certain.
Yeah, it could end up being a dismal card, but in the Tokyo Dome, in front of potentially 40,000 people, it's not very likely, is it?
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Some of the matches on this, which we're going to cover in detail throughout this show, are just absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. Let's not waste any time. Let's not hear me going, or that's okay, or anything like that. Let's just talk about the card. Let's talk about wrestling. Let's talk about what we love. Let us start with the traditional card opener of Wrestle Kingdom, the dark match, which is the New Japan Rumble. January equals Rumbles.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it does equal Rumbles.
I thought about that. This one's a lot less serious than the
this one is, like I say, the traditional card opener. It's a nice, chilled, relaxed environment. It's an opportunity to see some old faces. Box standard Rumble, 2 men start. Every 60 to 90 seconds, another man comes out. If you're thrown over the top rope with both feet on the floor, you're out. Last one standing wins. Simple as that. They tend to bring out some legends for this. Entrants from last year include Shiro Koshinaka, who was the first ever junior heavyweight champion of the IWGP. Kazushi Sakuraba, who was the MMA guy.
Isn't he a bit old now?
He's about 47 now. He's got some age on him.
Wow. Well, in the Rumble, you have a great time.
But he was in the Rumble last year. And Haku.
Oh.
Haku, who...
I didn't know he still wrestled.
Yeah. Haku represented the Bullet Club in last year's Rumble, which was insane.
Haku, one of the scariest men in wrestling ever.
Yes, if you get locked into a Tongan death grip with Haku.
There's that story about he pulled someone's eye out or bit their nose off or something.
I did read something about that.
It's terrifying.
And last year's winner was Jado, one of the bookers of New Japan.
Jado.
Jado.
It's just when Jericho's listing all the men he's beat. And he's like on Raw and just name drops Jado and Gedo. I was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
Some of the entrants that have already been announced for the New Japan Rumble include Hiroshi Tenzan, the former IWGP and NWA World Champion, Jushin Thunder Liger. And if you don't know who Jushin Thunder Liger is, you really, really, really need to do your research.
He's one of the most legendary light heavyweights of all time,
the
Joe.
pioneer of the junior heavyweight division.
And he likes to dress up.
He does. Manabu Nakanishi, former champion. Raizuki Taguchi, who lost to Will Ospreay in the Best of the Super Juniors final this year.
Is he Finn Balor's former tag partner?
Yes, he is Finn Balor's former tag partner in Apollo 13.
Right.
Tiger Mask, the original Tiger Mask.
Really? Well.
And Yuji Nagata, the former heavyweight champion as well.
I'm surprised he's not on the card, the main card.
Yeah.
Because he's been good this year.
He has been good. I feel Nagata's getting on a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's carrying himself very well. He was never Ultimate Champion at one point this year.
He was?
Defeated Katsuyori Shibata.
During Shibata's feud with the dads. With two dads.
With the entire of the third generation.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in particular you'd like to see win this match, Jack?
It's just a fun match, isn't it? I just hope it's a fun match.
I think it showcases some surprise entrants.
I guess if I had to choose Tenzan, if that's like a send-off for him. Although he might have a bigger send-off, because I know he was going to retire at some point last year.
I thought Tenzan was due to retire at the end of the G1 Climax.
But he didn't.
That's what I thought. Yeah. He didn't have the best of tournaments.
No.
This year.
But I guess if he won it, it'd be a nice way for him to go out, although they're probably saving it for an actual match.
Yeah.
Maybe Liger.
I can't look past Liger. I mean, one of the surprises could easily go ahead and win it. I can't really think of anyone who I would like to turn up. Haku, just for the hell of it again. Hopefully not as a member of the Bullet Club this time. But I'm going to go with Liger.
Okay.
I think it would be nice to see Liger win this one. He's never won the New Japan Rumble.
Has he not? No. I thought he would have done. Okay.
He's done everything but win this.
Right.
So it'll be nice to see Liger pull this one out. Next up, we have Tiger Mask W versus Tiger the Dark. Now, this all centers around the legendary TV show Tiger Mask, which features in Japan. They have recently...
If there's anything on this card that I'm not a fan of, it's this. I'm sorry. It's just too... No... I'm too Western and stuck in my ways. You can't base a match off an anime program. You can't do it.
Tiger Mask has based his entire career off the anime program.
Has he? Well, well then fair enough. Yeah, but it's Ibushi. That's what I mean. Like, he could be doing anything else.
We don't know it's Ibushi, but we speculate.
Oh, it's so Ibushi.
We speculate it's Ibushi. Tiger Mask W is the new TV series that has come out in Japan. It premiered in October. It features some of NJPW stars such as Okada, Nagata, Tanahashi. Admittedly, I agree, it's not one I'm particularly looking forward to know that this is opening the pay-per-view. It's probably best to get it out of the way, but again, speculation as to who is under the masks are incredible. It was speculated that it was Kota Ibushi when he wrestled in October. In October, it was speculated he wrestled against Juice Robinson. And it is speculated that this time, Tiger the Dark is being played by ACH.
That'll be a good match. That'll be a fantastic match if it is those guys.
Kota versus ACH by itself would be a good match. I think simply because it's Tiger Mask, it's got to be involved somehow. They've got to have a big push.
Have you seen Adam Cole's slightly racist thing? I saw on Reddit the other day.
Was this in PWG last year when he wrestled Cedric Alexander?
He was wrestling Cedric, and then the announcer he's made the announcement. He's like, read the note, and the announcer's like, he's the longest reigning, whatever. He's a former Ring of Honor champion, all this sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, read that bit, and he goes, he is wrestling against ACH. Wait, no, Cedric Alexander, and everyone goes, oh, and the crowd all just go, that's just racist. Yeah.
And then he had a response for that.
He was like,
he had a response. He made the announcer give a response to the "that was racist" chant.
What was that? I missed that.
The response was, if you're chanting that as racist, you can suck my.
Oh, Adam. Oh.
Such heat. But that's why I love Adam Cole.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess. Yeah.
Do you really care who wins this match? If I'm being perfectly honest.
Not particularly, but I mean, you've got to expect it to be Tiger Mask W. But unless they pull a sort of weird Lucha Underground swerve where they just go the other way to what you think, and then it changes everything, and then that leads to another. I've not been watching the show, so I don't know.
I must admit, if this was Kota Ibushi versus ACH, I'd be a lot more invested in it. I'm gonna go Tiger Mask W.
I'll go Tiger Mask W.
Purely because I feel the protagonist of the show needs the win. We'll go Tiger Mask W for that one. Title match time, and this is the first of 5 straight matches for the Bullet Club. The order that I'm giving you the matches is largely retrospective of the card order, or what looks like it's going to be the card order. So we're going with the first of 5 straight Bullet Club matches, and this match is for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles between the reigning champions, the Young Bucks, Nick and Mac Jackson. Again, if you don't know who they are,
everyone knows the Young Bucks.
Where have you been the last 2 years? And the challengers, Roppongi Vice, Rocky Romero, and Beretta of Chaos.
Roppongi. I'll give a brief little summary of Roppongi Vice for the guys. They're basically they're kind of Westerners who just love Japan and partying in Japan, in Roppongi, the district of Japan, of Tokyo, where all the parties happen. I thought I was going to do a better summary than this when I started. And they've got a theme tune, which I believe is sung by Rocky Romero himself. Yeah, they just rhyme Vice with like lights, like loads of times. They're fun. They're very fun. They're a big man, little man team.
Yeah, Beretta's the tall guy. Rocky Romero is the experienced short arse, for lack of better terms.
They're good.
They're both good.
Are they face or tweener? Are Chaos face now?
Chaos are face.
Yeah, okay.
Right. They started initially as heel under the leadership of Okada, but they are very much face. Now they are seen as the prime opposition to Bullet Club. Yeah. Roppongi Vice earned this title match by winning the Super Junior Tag Tournament at Power Struggle in November. If Roppongi Vice win the titles, Rocky Romero will make history.
Roppongi Lights? Roppongi Vice.
You're throwing me off.
Yeah, sorry. They'll make history.
Rocky Romero will become the first man to ever hold 7 IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. He's one of only 3 6-time champions. The other 2 being Jushin Thunder Liger and a man known as Finn Balor.
Oh, that's esteemed company there, isn't it?
Fergal Devitt held the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title 6 times, or tag title, I should say, 6 times. A lot of them with Taguchi from Apollo 13. The Young Bucks, arguably the best team in the world right now. Easily my team of 2016.
They weren't mine, but okay.
Who are yours?
Mine with the Revival.
You're with the Revival.
But the Young Bucks were in there as well.
I've got to go with the Bucks.
Fair enough.
They're in their 5th title reign as Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, more than any other team in history. Their 2nd ROH World Tag Team title reign, and they are 18 months into their 4th PWG World Tag Team title reign. How revolutionary have the Young Bucks been in the last year or two in tag team wrestling?
They've been, again, like sort of Styles and Omega, they've been one of the leading lights of indie wrestling, saying like you don't need to go to WWE to be a massive success.
Yeah,
and they are a massive success. Like they had a 5-star match this year, according to Dave Meltzer.
Yes, that was a PWG.
That 6-man. Wait, was it a 6-man? It was them and Adam Cole.
Them and Adam Cole versus Ospreay, Ricochet, and Sydal.
Yeah, and you know I didn't personally think it was 5 stars, but it was a really good match. There's some incredible. They can do incredible things. The Young Bucks, like they're incredibly athletic and they're crazy. They love throwing super kicks as well.
Often seen as spot monkeys by a man that we'll not refer to in this studio because Jack still has some mental scarring.
No, Matt Hardy, it's fine.
Matt Hardy did refer to them as spot monkeys. If you watch ROH, there's a potential to see the Young Bucks versus the Hardys in ROH in 2017. Yeah. Tell me you don't want to see that.
It'd be hilarious.
But they have been one of the best tag teams in the world in the last 2 years. They do like a super kick.
They love a super kick.
If you saw the Briscoes versus the Young Bucks at ROH Final Battle, the ending is just a dozen super kicks.
Of super kicks. That kind of worked.
Lots of super kicks with Steve Corino losing his mind.
That kind of worked because the Briscoes looked brave. They were like on their knees, like fighting against all the super kicks.
No selling 18 super kicks.
They recently super kicked Sander and various members of their own family, both infant and adult, in a video online. They're just such piss takers, man. Like they just.
Did you see the sign? I can't remember if it was Raw SmackDown this week. But in fact, no, it was SmackDown.
Jolly Jobber Fears King Ross. Yeah, I saw that one. Oh my god. Anyway, sorry.
It wasn't that one I was referring to. It was, I think it was SmackDown during the tag title match.
No.
It was just, I think it was Matt Jackson's head just peering above the crowd as American Alpha win the titles.
Oh, God.
He just sends out this cryptic tweet, don't worry guys, I can see you. Let's get a prediction. Who wins and why?
Oh man, so much of this depends on how the Bullet Club will do in other matches. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll go with Roppongi Vice, I think.
Ooh,
I know.
Romero to make history.
I think so.
I think I'm going to disagree with you on this one. It's not very often me and Jack disagree. We do share a lot of the same beliefs and opinions in wrestling, but I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I think the Bucks have the potential to carry this a long, long way.
Okay.
I don't think there's any need to break either of them off into singles careers, whereas Romero and Beretta probably have more chance. I don't think the Bullet Club are taking a clean sweep tonight, or at Wrestle Kingdom, I should say.
No, I don't think so either.
Which we'll discuss later on. But I do see the Young Bucks coming through, probably with a Meltzer driver.
Okay.
It won't be a 5-star match, although it might be. You never know.
Well, you never know.
But I do see the Young Bucks coming through. Probably through interference.
Yeah.
Although with there being 5 straight Bullet Club matches, I'm not too sure. Either way, I'm going to go with the Young Bucks. Next up, we have a lot of guys. This one is a 4-way gauntlet match for the Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Championships.
This is the sort of match where I'm least sure whether it's going to be good or bad. Well, not bad, but how good it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because there's loads of mixed abilities in there, mixed styles and everything. It's quite good.
Yeah. It's
quite
also an interesting style of matchup.
Is it
because the gauntlet match doesn't happen a lot in New Japan.
Or in WWE these days, really.
No, I completely
It's kind
agree.
of attitude era, in my mind.
Ooh, flashback.
Yeah.
The reigning champions, David Finlay, one of the young lions of New Japan, Ricochet, and the legendary Satoshi Kojima.
He's been the best of the dads.
Yes.
He's the best of the dad group.
Yes, I completely agree.
Tenzan's losing it. Nagata's good still, but Kojima hasn't really lost a step. He's amazing.
Yeah. They are defending the titles against 3 members of the Bullet Club in Bad Luck Fale, Hangman Page, and Yujiro Takahashi.
Ooh. Kind of the dregs of Bullet Club there. I don't want to be mean, because, they're good heels, but
they also have to contend with Los Ingobernables de Japón in Bushi, Evil, and Sonata.
That's a good team.
That is a good team. And Chaos.
Come on, I want
with
Chaos.
Jado, Yoshihashi, and our boy, the best of the Super Juniors, Will Ospreay.
Our close personal friend, Will Ospreay. That's a good team as well, because I didn't know much about Yoshihashi, but I saw he had a lot of hate online. He's kind of bland, babyface character. But then in the G1, not the G1, sorry, was he in the G1?
He was, but he didn't do too well.
No, but he had a match with Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
I watched that, and I was like, and apparently there was those series of matches where people started to go, you know what, Yoshihashi's actually a really good wrestler. He is really good.
It was originally supposed to be Yoshihashi, Will Ospreay, and Tomohiro Ishii in his team, but we'll talk about that in a bit as well. The thing to note with this match is it shouldn't really be David Finlay.
Wait, who are the champions? Yes, that's why. Right.
Because the titles were originally on Ricochet, Kojima, and Matt Sydal.
Evan Bourne in WWE.
But Sydal was recently a very naughty boy. Sydal was arrested in late September for liquid cannabis smuggling.
Yeah, man.
That immediately cost him the title.
I felt quite bad for him, but he shouldn't have done it.
He shouldn't have done it.
But I was like, he seems so nice.
The next night, a day after his arrest, and the stripping of the titles, they had a 6-man tag team match between Kojima, Ricochet, and Finlay, as mentioned, one of the Young Dragons, against the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, which they came out of and won. So they have been the champions ever since going into it. They've had a good little run. I know Ricochet and Finlay challenged the Young Bucks recently for the junior heavyweight tag titles, but obviously came up a bit short. I can't really speculate the order of this match. You would think the 2 teams would start pinfall, then another team comes in.
There's going to have to be an Ospreay Ricochet showdown at some point.
Yeah,
surely.
I would think. Do they hold it off though?
Maybe. I think I've got.
Or do you eliminate the champions? Because I really don't think they're walking away with this.
I've got to guess who's going to win.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you guess the order, but I'm going to ask for a prediction.
I think it's going to be Evil, Bushi, and Sonata. I think it's going to be Los Ingobernables de Japón. I think they're going to win. I hope they're going to win.
Yeah.
I'd quite like to see them win.
I actually agree with you. I think LIJ have had a brilliant year this year, ever since expanding out of Mexico, with Naito as the leader. Bushi's won the junior heavyweight title. Evil's...
just do my LIJ pose.
Evil won the Never Openweight title quite recently. He did lose it back, but he has held championship gold. And Sonata has been great as well. They also have the challenger for the junior heavyweight title in Wrestle Kingdom, and they brought Rush in for World Tag League, and that went down really well as well. I think Chaos eliminate the champions before LIJ come out as the closing two.
Okay.
I don't think Bullet Club made much of an impact in this one, although it is a shame because there are some good guys there. Hangman Page making his Wrestle Kingdom debut.
I feel bad now to say that the dregs of Bullet Club.
I'm not really a big fan of Takahashi, but I am a fan of Fale.
At least Captain New Japan's not in there.
No, thank God. Thank God. He needs to make his
mind up. He'll be in the Rumble. He'll be in the Rumble. Sure.
Yeah, you would think. But me and Jack are going to agree on this one and go LIJ.
LIJ, yeah.
Next up, a match that I shouldn't look forward to, or I should look forward to. I'm really looking forward
What's
to.
This?
Juice Robinson versus the newest member of Bullet Club.
Whoa. Holy smoking mirror.
Juice Robinson goes one-on-one with Cody Rhodes in the other non-title match on this card. How cool was that promo?
It was fantastic. It was a good video.
Wonderfully shot.
Really good.
Make Cody look like $1 million.
Yeah, he already does look like $1 million, but it made him look
obviously, but it made him look
what
better.
What a disgustingly handsome man he is. Hate him.
Yeah.
No, he's fantastic. Honestly, out of all the guys we've met working WCPW, he is one of the nicest men I've ever met in my life. He's just so polite. What a guy.
The reigning WCPW
champion. He's a heel. We should be like, oh, what a nasty man, what an awful guy. But no,
he's only been presented as a member of Bullet Club. He hasn't done anything heelish other than Ring of Honor.
He low blow Jay Lethal.
He did low blow Jay Lethal, but
another really nice. Anyway,
that obviously set up the Bullet Club lead, which I did mention. I did call it. For those of you who don't know, me and Jack had this discussion. I did say it was going to be Cody Rhodes without knowing, but Cody in the Bullet Club, much approved.
I had a sort of, I don't know if it was with you, I don't think it was, but one day I'd been sort of told that it was going to be via WCPW sources, and I was like, should I mention that in Fast Count? And they were like, no, you can like allude to it. You can say like, all I said in Fast Count was, if you know who it is, you know. But I can't say who it is.
Yeah.
But obviously the comments were like, it's Cody Rhodes. I was like, I couldn't actually say it because it wasn't official news yet. I'm just so inside everyone.
Juice Robinson has easily been one of the most improved superstars.
I don't know much about him.
Over the last couple of years. WWE fans may know him as CJ Parker. The hippie gimmick didn't really work out for him. He was released, came over to New Japan in 2015. As a member of the Young Dragons, or the Young Lions, I should say, and he's really excelled. He had a great World Tag League with Tanahashi.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And has improved leaps and bounds.
People, like, this happens to people, like Gallows went over to New Japan after being in WWE, and as CM Punk said in his famous promo, like, and he's worked his ass off and he doesn't get all the credit. Yeah. When he went over to New Japan and they gave him a chance, it seems like they do something in Japan when people just really, really, like, improve, or at least sometimes really improve a lot. And now that Gallows has gone back to WWE and he's in like 3-minute matches, it's kind of, but you know, but like, Juice Robinson, like, it just shows that like you never really know who's capable of excelling in WWE until they go elsewhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cody's gonna win.
Yeah, I feel like this is the match where shenanigans are gonna happen from the Bullet Club. Maybe the Young Bucks get involved and screw over Robinson. But I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes winning. And a huge shout out to Cody, by the way, who, as soon as this match finishes, is jumping on a plane to get to Liverpool to defend the internet title against Zack Sabre Jr. What a guy.
What a disgusting heel. What an awful man.
What a wonderful wrestler, though. So dedicated. His matches read Juice Robinson, Zack Sabre Jr., Ricochet. And someone to be announced. Buy tickets, WC.pw. I've had half a sip.
Oh, shut up, WhatCulture. It's your birthday, it's fine.
Yeah. Dear.
We'll say this. This could be the one. I do strongly think Cody's going to win. But if there's a match where you think this is way too obvious, and then they'll go, no, the opposite's going to happen. It might be this one. But I don't think that'll happen. I think Cody will win.
I think with the push that Cody's received, it should be Cody.
It should be.
But let's find out and see what happens. Next up, a rematch from Final Battle, an ROH event for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Another Bullet Club member, Adam Cole, baby. Thank you. I was waiting for that. Takes on the man that dethroned him last month, representing Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly. This match was actually pretty good, a final battle.
It was disgusting. It was grim.
Turned into a non-disqualification match to show how badly Kyle O'Reilly wanted the world title.
It was a clever ending. Because he put him in an armbar, and there was thumbtacks there from a previous bit of the match, and he leaned back in the armbar onto the thumbtacks, and it showed that, you know, he's more willing to fight for it than Adam Cole is.
Yeah.
And he was willing to lie on thumbtacks. It was really well thought out. But
yeah,
it was great.
It's the culmination of Kyle O'Reilly's journey towards the world title. It's his first recognised world championship.
He's brilliant.
Cole, obviously a former 2-time Ring of Honor world champion, making his Wrestle Kingdom debut. Kyle O'Reilly last year defended the junior heavyweight tag titles with his Red Dragon teammate Bobby Fish, who sadly isn't on the card this year.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I'm a fan of Bobby Fish.
Me too, but this match could be well good.
It could be. This is the second year in a row where Wrestle Kingdom have held a Ring of Honor title match. Last year it was Jay Lethal versus Michael Elgin.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure how, to this day I'm still not sure how I feel about that match.
Okay.
I think it could have been slightly better, but that's personal opinion. I feel like this one could be much, much better.
This one could be incredible. One of my favourite moves in all of wrestling today is when O'Reilly does some kind of like flying counter into the armbar. Like someone will go for a splash or something, and he'll just spring up and somehow catch them in the armbar as they're on the way down. It's incredible. He's so good.
It is. It's wonderful. And we talk about the success that Kyle O'Reilly's had this year. Let's talk briefly about the success that Adam Cole has had. Obviously, won the world title back in August, the Ring of Honor world title from Jay Lethal. A month before that, he joined the Bullet Club. He's returned to PWG, looks like $1 million, and obviously wrestled in the 5-star match as well. Bullet Club versus all of the flippy faces.
He's kind of had a bit of a feud with Ospreay as well, and they've had some really good matches.
Yeah, he defended the Ring of Honor world title in September against Ospreay.
I watched their progress match in England.
What a match!
Oh my god, it was so unbelievable. I couldn't believe it was. Apart from all the spitting, they spat at each other a lot in the match, but it was so good.
Being there live was so much. It was so much better. Like I've watched it back.
It was fantastic.
It was a brilliant match. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it because it's brilliant. You'll love it.
That was a really good match.
It was, and if Cole versus O'Reilly at Wrestle Kingdom's anything like that, obviously it's going to be less flippy. O'Reilly's not really known as a high flyer, but he's a technical mastermind.
He's fantastic.
He's absolutely brilliant. Prediction?
Kyle O'Reilly.
You're going Kyle O'Reilly?
Ring of Honor don't really do quick changes.
Yeah. The shortest title reign in history is 5 weeks.
Is it? When was that?
James Gibson.
Oh, after he beat Punk. After he beat Punk.
Yeah, after he beat Punk. I believe he lost the title to Homicide.
Yeah, fair enough. But apart from that, Ring of Honor really don't do...
I don't believe it's... Kyle O'Reilly is what you could class as a Ring of Honor legend. He's been around for so long. 3 ROH tag titles. Bobby Fish's Helper TV title. Be very disrespectful to give him the shortest reign in history.
I don't think they will.
It would give Adam Cole a record-setting 3rd world title, but I don't see it happening.
No.
This is Kyle O'Reilly's first title defense. I think they're setting up O'Reilly versus Fish down the line. Fish does have a world title match in the bank from winning Survival of the Fittest.
That'd be great.
I think it's going to go down that lines. I love Adam Cole. I really, really do. Not in a sort of way.
Oh, he's a very attractive man.
I mean, he is, but he's just a phenomenal wrestler. But I'm going to go with Kyle O'Reilly for this one.
Me too.
The IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team title match. Let's talk about that. This went from a traditional tag team match to a triple threat quite recently. The champions, the Girls of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tangaroa, representing the Bullet Club.
What am I doing? I was trying to do a Tama Tonga thing, but he's very agile.
He is very agile. Are taking on Great Bash Heel, the team of Togi Makabe and Tomoaki Honma, and are also wrestling 2 members of Chaos, Toru Yano and Tomohiro Ishii.
Adam Blombier loves Yano. Finds him hilarious.
Then I'm polar opposite because I can't stand him.
Okay. Every promotion needs comedic figures.
That's comedic.
He's but he is kind of the Morella of NJPW.
Only they really take the piss with it. Toru Yano scored 10 points in this year's G1 Climax.
He was like rolling up people.
Did you see the match with Shibata in the G1 Climax?
Yeah, I was livid because I
awful.
thought that was bad because I called Shibata at the start of the tournament. I was like, Shibata's going to win. He's finally going to get his shot. Mm-hmm. And in hindsight, it's fantastic what they've done with Omega, which again we'll talk about later on. But I was at the time I was like every fast count I was like, watch for Shibata. Shibata's going to win. Then 1 week
that match effectively knocked him out.
Came up against Yano. And Yano just rolls him up. What did he do, like low blow him or something?
He low blowed him, ran him into an exposed turnbuckle and rolled him up for a 3
No, it's just
count.
like, that's Shibata.
Great Bash Shield have won World Tag League for the 2nd year in a row, which is why they're in this match. It's something for Great Bash Shield. I really didn't think they were going to win World Tag League, but they were against the champions, Tonga and Roa. So I can understand it. Last year they rode a World Tag League success to the titles. They defeated Anderson and Gallows to win the titles in quite an emotional display if you watch it back. Tamawaki Honma credits Makabe for saving his career and giving him a chance to improve and succeed.
Honma's story is fantastic.
Honma's story is good.
He was a jobber basically. He never ever won.
But Makabe sort of pulled him up as a thanks really for loyalty to JBH.
It's great.
Great Bash Shield, not Grievous Bodily Harm. The champions, one of the most improved teams over the last 12 months. They have held the titles twice this year. They lost it to the Briscoes back in June, but did win it back a few months later. And Tama Tonga had a brilliant showing in the G1 Climax as a singles competitor. He managed to knock out his Bullet Club teammate, Bad Luck Fowler, in their final match. But everything's all smoothed over now.
They're Haku's sons?
They are the sons of Haku.
Right.
Yes.
That explains why he's in Bullet Club. There it is. Right, I've just got that. Right, okay, cool. All right. There we go.
But there is the third element, and that is the element of chaos. I put my differences for Toriano to one side and talk about Tomohiro Ishii. Ishii was originally supposed to be in the 6-man tag match, which we talked about, but now he's in this. It is one fall to a finish, which is a little bit different.
Is it? Okay.
So it is first team to score pinfall submission wins. I don't know how I want to call this.
I've just thought there that I think I've predicted a title change in every match apart from the Ring of Honor World Championship, and I don't want to predict too many title changes. No, I'll go with Great Bash Shield again for the 2nd year in a row. I think they're going to do it because they won the tournament for the 2nd year in a row.
They did win the tournament for the 2nd year in a row. World Tag League winners tend to have a decent.
This is a hard one to call.
Decent spell.
I'll stick with them.
The last 2 years in a row, World Tag League winners have gone on to win the titles. Last year,
unless it's the
was Great Bash Shield.
I don't think
the year before.
Sorry,
I believe it was Shibata and Goto who won World Tag League and then went on to win the titles.
I don't know if I can see Chaos winning.
No, which is a damn shame for Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, it's shame for Ishii.
The guy deserves a belt.
He was never open weight for a bit a while ago.
Only 4 times.
Okay. No, I'll stick with my gut. I'll go Great Bash Shield again.
Stick GBH?
No, yeah.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you.
Okay.
I would love to see GOD get a good run at the top of the tag team division.
It's between those two.
I think the Yano factor takes Chaos away. Sorry, Tomohiro. I think GOD are once for the future. I don't think they're there yet. I think it's a little bit unfair on GBH that they're not getting a one-on-one match that they did last year as a result of winning the World Tag League.
Yeah.
But I think they can overcome it. I think it'll be good to see GOD put up a decent fight. I feel like interference might be another issue here where this time it doesn't work. But yeah, I'm going to go with GBH. Next up, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. The challenger, Hiromu Takahashi, ROH fans might know him as Kamitachi, representing LIJ, will take on, in my opinion, one of the best juniors in the world, Kushida, the 4-time champion, which isn't bad going. It really isn't. Obviously, nowhere near the record of 11 from Liger, surprise, surprise, but a modern-day brilliant super junior.
Speaking of Kyle O'Reilly before, his match with Kyle O'Reilly this year was really good as well. I think it was kind of overlooked when people were talking about the best matches. I thought it was really
really good. Takahashi returned at Power Struggle to lay out the challenge to Kushida, which was a bit of a shame because a lot of people seem to think it was going to be Will Ospreay challenging Kushida one more time.
Yeah.
I would have preferred to see Will Ospreay one more time, but
I thought the time bomb was going to be Suzuki.
Oh,
it wasn't Suzuki.
It wasn't Suzuki, which is a shame.
It was this lad. It was Kamitachi. Get confused by Steve Takahashi. Okay.
It's his real name. It's actually his birthday.
Oh, I see. Right.
No gimmicks. A month later, he pledged fealty to LIJ. So this is LIJ's second opportunity at a title on Wrestle Kingdom. There is one more with a current champion. And Kushida had another fantastic year. He started his year by winning the title at Wrestle Kingdom from Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Before Kenny Omega went bang, just decided to be like one of the biggest wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, just casually out of nowhere. He won the Super J Cup this year.
Yeah.
Did Kushida, which is weird. I don't recall the champion winning it for a while at least.
I don't know.
But
fair enough.
It was a good win for him. He did lose the title to Bushi before regaining it.
Very briefly, yeah.
A couple of months back.
It's kind of how Evil did that with Shibata.
Yeah, and then Evil's reign lasted
the never
less.
Open weight. Did it last less time?
Evil only had the belt for 10 nights.
Right.
He won it at Power Struggle and then lost it back at Wrestling World in Singapore.
I don't know who's going to win this one, you know.
It's an interesting one. I know you're a fan of facts.
Oh, here we go.
Kushida in his 4th title reign is already tied 4th in the history of the junior heavyweight title in number of title reigns.
Devitt up there?
Devitt has held 3.
Oh, right, okay, right.
There are a couple, the most notable ones.
Liger, yeah.
Liger's held 11.
Yeah.
That'll never be surpassed. This is, I must admit, I don't know a whole lot about Takahashi other than what I've seen in ROH.
He licks things.
I know he did, yeah, he does.
Licked the belt when Kushida was wearing it.
I know he did an excursion to CMLL, and that went really well for him. The obvious pick here will be Kushida.
I'm going to go the other way.
You're going to go Takahashi? You think a shock?
I've got a theory that all of LIJ are going to hold belts at the end of the night.
Ooh.
Yeah. I can just see them all, just all of them. Yeah, loving it. They're all going to have a great
belts
time.
In the air.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that image now. But then it would be a shock because Kushida's been built really strongly.
Yeah.
Over the past year or 2 years, just past year really. But Kushida looks really good, and he is really good.
He's held 4 titles over 2 years, so he's doing quite well.
So I just think
for himself.
Normally, I'd say Kushida, but I've just got this theory that all of LIJ are going to hold a belt by the end of the night. So I'm going to go with...
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, for my other prediction. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Well, never mind.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I think Kushida is going to retain.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 2 matches he's had with Ospreay really set the precedent for the year he's had.
Yeah, they were great.
He's also very popular in other places like ROH. I think the junior heavyweight division can be built around Kushida, Ricochet and Will Ospreay. The Super J Cup and the Best of the Super Juniors in 2017, I'm telling you now, are going to be one of the most very interesting tournaments. That made no sense.
Yeah, no, you're
They're
right.
going to be some of the most interesting tournaments you'll watch all year in 2017.
Yeah. Because that sort of wrestling really broke out this year.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be...
The sort of wrestling Vader hates.
Yeah, flippy. Well,
and Kushida's not the flippiest of guys.
No.
But he can hold his own.
He can totally flip. He can do flips.
I'm not denying he can, but you'd more likely see him in a hoverboard.
Yeah.
Which is basically just a Kimura.
He loves Back to the Future. That's his thing.
He does. Did you see his entrance last year?
Yeah.
With Taguchi as Doc.
Yeah, just control it, yeah.
Looking spaced out with the controls. I hope that doesn't happen again this year.
Those entrances were great. Kushida used to be tag partners with one of my favourite wrestlers, Alex Shelley.
Yes, the Time Splitters.
The Time Splitters. All very sort of nerdy type style, computer gamesy film, sci-fi type stuff. Sci-fi.
I think did they hold the junior tag titles?
They might have done. I just remember them getting out of a DeLorean together. It was great. Oh my god.
I must look for that.
I just love Alex Shelley.
So you're going with Takahashi. I'm going with Kushida.
Okay, yeah.
Next up, possibly the match of the night. The Never Openweight Championship was on the line. Our boy Katsuyori Shibata versus Hiroki Goto. This match is going to be stiff.
Poor Hiroki Goto.
These two are best friends. These two go back like school days.
Really?
Yeah, legit. They have won World Tag League together, as I did mention a couple of years ago. They wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom and won the tag titles. This match seemed to come out of nowhere. I was more than ready for Evil to take on Shibata or Goto to wrestle for a random title, or maybe not even wrestle for a title at all. He was the winner of the only non-title match last year at Wrestle Kingdom against Naito.
Right.
So I was more than ready for Goto to have a quiet one.
He's not going to have a quiet one.
It would seem unfair on Goto considering the year he's had.
Here's your reward.
Here's your reward, being kicked multiple times by the stiffest kicker in New Japan. Goto, as we've said, 2016 was a mixed year, but yielded some positive results.
In terms of like how well he wrestled, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
But in terms of results,
Started out with a victory over Naito at last year's Wrestle Kingdom. Unsuccessfully challenged for the heavyweight title against Okada at the New Beginning in February. That means he's now...
Those things? Was that when he painted himself?
Yeah, that's when he painted himself. And then he joined Chaos that night. He's now 0 for 8 in heavyweight title matches.
Oh.
Poor lad. Poor lad.
There's just always been someone... There's just always been at least two people more over than him. More,
More than made up for it with his performance in the G1. He wrestled some fantastic matches in the G1 climax. Eventually getting to the final, where he lost out to Kenny Omega. He did challenge for the contract in a rematch. Another phenomenal match. Both matches easily could have been 5 stars, but did lose out again.
That final of the G1, just quickly, was incredible because you know how Omega loves Mega Man? The character, the video game character. And Mega Man, one of the Mega Man's attributes is whenever he defeats someone, he takes on one of their powers or whatever.
Yeah.
He was busting out like styles clashes and stuff.
Yeah,
like
the Styles Clash with Bloody Sunday. I believe he actually bushed out. He actually did Ibushi's finisher combo.
Yeah.
The last right powerbomb with Phoenix Splash.
It was crazy. It was really good. And that match, like everyone was like, "Oh, Omega, that's amazing." But Goto was equally that match was really good. I prefer the semi against Omega Naito.
Yeah, the block final against Naito was better, in my opinion.
But the final was still fantastic. And Goto, I can't call this one, man. I'm trying to think about it. I don't really know.
Goto made himself look brilliantly.
He did.
Made himself look brilliant, I should say. I swear I'm not drunk. I swear. But what about Katsuyori Shibata?
I know.
Shibata, again, has had another fantastic year. Won the Never Openweight title last year at Wrestle Kingdom against Tomohiro Ishii. So much stiffness in that match. Has lost it twice this year. He lost it to Yuji Nagata and to Evil, but has since won them back. He's a 3-time champion now, all in the space of a year. Second in terms of title reigns, and has found some success elsewhere as well. For the first time in his career, he's wrestled outside of Japan. He debuted for Ring of Honor this year and is also the current Rev Pro Undisputed Heavyweight Champion, defeating Zack Sabre Jr.
What a match that must have been. I didn't see it, but what a match that must have been.
His match with Chris Hero the next night was much better.
Oh, really? Wow.
Watch Chris Hero versus Katsuyori Shibata. It's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, this is a hard one to call.
It's so difficult. If there's one guy I'd like to book for WCPW,
Shibata.
It would be Shibata.
Oh my god.
It really
would
be.
This one I can't call because, like, it's really... I have to get into a bit of the history over here, but it's really, like, two opposites going, because Shibata was one of... Like, about 10 years ago, New Japan were like, these are our 3 aces. We're going to build a company around these 3 guys. It was Tanahashi, Nakamura, who's obviously left now, and Shibata. Shibata went... I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but he went off. And they saw
he went off for a professional MMA career.
That was it, and he wasn't that good. And they saw it as like a bit of a betrayal. And he's never been as big as he should have been, because they've always been a bit like, you're the outsider. You were the, And then obviously Okada, who was never one of the aces, has just become one of the best wrestlers in the world, and they've gone, you're the guy now. And Shibata's kind of been left by the wayside. And if he beats Goto, to me that's a sign that 2017 could be his year, or at least the start of his rise. Whereas Goto's been like a company man by the sounds of it. He's had so many title matches and always lost them. Are they going to let him win to be like, here you go? It's such... There's so many
I feel like the winner of this match is in with a good shout of winning one of the 2 heavyweight tournaments that lead to a title match.
Yeah.
The 2 tournaments that lead to a title match for the heavyweights are the New Japan Cup. 2016's was won by Tetsuya Naito, and the J1 Climax, obviously won by Omega this year. I feel if Goto wins, he's set up for a New Japan Cup win. I don't think they'll want to give him another J1 Climax, because he's already won the J1 once and failed to cash in.
Right.
If Shibata wins, it wouldn't surprise me to see him win the G1 Climax.
I'd love to see Shibata win. I thought it was this year, but it might have been a year out. But
yeah, he was very unlucky.
Who
in
wins
his attempt.
this though? Because
you've just asked the question I was going to ask.
If Shibata loses, that doesn't necessarily mean he's been he's just dropped the belt. That's given him something else to do. It doesn't mean he's like in for to be put lower down the card.
Grab another beer.
I really can't decide.
If I had a gun to your head and told you to pick,
Man,
who would it be?
well, I'm biased in favour of Shibata because I think he's class. But yeah, I know.
Expert, non-biased opinion there.
Shibata won last year though.
Shibata's got 2 victories in a row at Wrestle Kingdom.
I'll go Shibata. That was
Jack,
the hardest one to call. That.
Yeah, you've made a lot of very good points. I too am going to go with Shibata. And my early prediction for this year's for 2017 G1 Climax is Shibata. I feel the New Japan Cup will probably go to someone who's already won it.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about in a minute. But I think this year's G1 Climax goes to Shibata. I would love 2018 to be Shibata in the main event for the title.
Me too.
Because he deserves it.
He's class.
This next 12 months where he's got the excursions out to the UK and he's doing the shows for Ring of Honor, I feel could be a big difference for Katsuhiro Shibata. He's not particularly old. He's only 37, which in terms of wrestlers...
Is he that old? I thought he was younger than that. Because he looks quite young.
In terms of wrestling, he's seen as in the peak of his career.
Yeah.
He's easily got another good 10 years in him. If you look at the likes of Satoshi Kojima's 48 years old.
Yeah.
And look where he's going.
Yeah.
So
how old's Goto?
Goto's the same age.
Oh, go to school again.
Right. It's going to be harsh on Goto. I really want to see a Goto heel turn.
Yeah.
I feel like Goto should leave Chaos. And I feel like Goto could have a good run in the New Japan Cup. He's always going to be known as the Nelly man.
I know.
Which is a shame, but I feel like Goto should turn heel.
I think this one's... Yeah, I'd like that. I think this is Shibata's though.
But ultimately, I'm going to go with Shibata, and I see it being stiff as hell.
It's a hard one to call that.
It is hard. I'm looking forward to this match just as much as any other match on the card, to be perfectly honest. And that's saying something, considering if you've seen my Twitter, you'll know how much I'm looking forward to a lot of matches on this card. Next up, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, possibly one of my favourite belts in the world right now. It's only 4 years old, and it's laced with heritage. It's laced with history. The challenger, possibly the greatest Japanese wrestler of all time, and that is saying something. There are arguments, but in terms of New Japan, possibly the greatest of all time, Hiroshi Tanahashi takes on the leader of LIJ, the champion Tetsuya Naito.
Yeah. Now, if there's any match that I'm watching it like a football match. I want one of them to win. Like I'm really rooting for one of the guys. It's Naito.
A draw would suck for you then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. No, it's this one. Naito. I'm fully team Naito for this because now Tanahashi's often called the Cena of New Japan, isn't he? He was like the leading light throughout the 2000s. He's won so many titles, but I kind of see him as more like a Hulk Hogan because. He's a bit of a dick, like sometimes, like Hogan was.
Yeah.
Like he said all this stuff about because Naito was coming up as like the hot new babyface who they wanted to push, but he didn't really catch on. And Tanahashi kind of didn't bury him, but he wasn't very complimentary about him.
The stuff that you're referring to, when Naito won the G1 Climax in 2013, he retained the title shot all the way through. So everyone thought that he was going to be in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom against Okada. But the fans didn't really take to it too well. So New Japan opened a vote to see which match would headline Wrestle Kingdom. I believe it was Wrestle Kingdom 8.
I think so.
And it was between Naito and Okada and Tanahashi versus Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah. And Nakamura and Tanahashi outvoted them 2-1.
That's crazy. That's like the Intercontinental title headlining WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Back when there was only one top tier belt.
And Tanahashi won that match.
Yeah.
Tanahashi has held this belt before. There's not very many people that have held it twice.
So now, this storyline's great because Naito's like, he's got a grievance. He's the heel, but he's got a legitimate grievance, which is always when heels are the best, when they've got a legit reason to be annoyed. And it's because Tanahashi never believed in him to be the top guy. Now he's turned heel and he's like, look, I've won the belt this year. I can be as good as you. And it's great. And I really want him to win. I so want him to win. But will they have Tanahashi lose twice in a row at Tokyo, like 2 years in a row?
Tanahashi is getting the match that he earned in June. He was supposed to take part in New Japan's first ever ladder match against Kenny Omega.
Oh, yeah.
But a shoulder injury pulled him out of that.
I was looking forward to that so much as well. I mean, it was still a good match, but with Elgin. But
with Elgin and Omega, I feel Omega and Tanahashi would have been much better.
Tanahashi, Mr. New Japan, like Mr. Tradition and respect, in a ladder match, the most Western against Omega. It would have been so funny and good, but sadly got injured.
Tanahashi hasn't had too bad of a year. He wrestled a 5-star match with Okada. Wrestled what, in my opinion, should have been a 5-star match with Okada again in the Block A final of the G1 Clay match. The draw.
It was a good match. It was good.
30-minute draw. It's one of the very few matches in recent times that has had me on the edge of my seat because I managed to stay away from spoilers from this, and I knew that a draw would send Goto to the final.
Right.
Thinking, oh my god, this match is legitimately going to end with a draw. And then he hit him with a high fly floors like 3 times, and it was a sign of Tanahashi being cocky. And not because he could have pinned him after 2, but it decided to go for the 3rd.
Missed the timer, yeah.
And missed the timer, which was insane. But Naito has had arguably one of the best years going. Put the loss to Goto at Wrestle Kingdom 10 to one side. He won the New Japan Cup, cashed that title shot in at Invasion Attack to win the title from Okada. He did lose it a couple of months later, but he has since gone forth into Ring of Honor, into Rev Pro, made a name for himself, and of course has won the Intercontinental title to top everything off for the leader of LIJ.
Yeah, he won. He won my. He was my in the WCP in the WhatCulture Wrestling Magazine Awards. He's my like gimmick of the year or like personality of the year, because his character. When you think of like, what's his character? Oh, he doesn't really care. He's really lazy. You think that shouldn't work. But Naito just makes it work. Especially in Japan, where it's all about honor and like, you know, doing your best and everything like that. And he's just this lazy guy who doesn't take his shirt off for undercard matches and stuff like that. And like, does that tranquilo pose where he'll fake a suicide dive and then just roll and lie on the mat. It's perfect. He's the perfect heel for Japan. He's the perfect
very disrespectful towards title belts. He'll stamp on titles, he'll throw titles.
When he won the IWGP Heavyweight title, he just launched it into the air. It was fantastic. There's that one where he was at a press. I love him so much. There was a press conference where the belt was on a plinth in front of him, and he just sat down and just moved it aside and put his LIJ cap on the plinth instead. So good.
You voted him as your gimmick of the year. I actually voted him for my wrestler of the year.
That's fair. He was in my top 5.
And Tokyo Sports seem to agree. Tokyo Sports named Naito as their MVP in all of Japanese professional wrestling.
He's also a wicked wrestler as well. He's really good.
It's the first time in a number of years that the award hasn't gone to a man with the surname of Okada or Tanahashi.
Right.
Surprise. This potentially could be match of the night.
A
lot of the matches could, but this more so than anything else.
Yeah.
The ace of New Japan, the leader of LIJ. Let's get a prediction. Who do you think and why?
Naito.
You're going with Naito.
If he lost, I mean, you could never. Gato's such a good booker that you can. That you sometimes he'll make a decision and you'll be like, oh, why has he done that? And then a few months later it'll make sense and he's saved it, or it's all branched out the way that he knew it was going to, and you're like, oh, fair enough. But this one, if Tanahashi won, I'd really struggle to see the logic, because Naito's been all of 2016. He's been built and built and built.
Yeah.
Even when he lost the belt, the heavyweight belt, he's still being built. And if he lost now, it would kill that momentum a bit. And I just think, to cap it off, he needs to win a Wrestle Kingdom. And Tanahashi's the guy. And if he beats him, then that's great. And you'll have another title reign at some point. A heavyweight title reign.
I don't know how I'm so on the fence with this match. I think if Tanahashi hadn't won the IWGP IC title before, it would have swung more in his favour. But the fact that he's had the belt beforehand sort of takes it away from him a little bit.
Yeah.
However, a loss for Naito wouldn't necessarily be the bad thing. If Naito loses, I believe he's going to win the New Japan Cup again, and set up the match with the winner of the main event, which we'll get to in a minute.
That makes a lot of sense.
Which is why I hate saying this, but I believe it's going to go to Tanahashi.
Okay.
I think Naito will take the L. I think it sets him up to go for the title again against the winner of the main event.
Yeah.
Regardless, Naito is the most talked about Japanese star at the moment.
Yeah, it's great. It's again, and this is a wider point about wrestling in general. Oops, dropped my bottle cap. But it's again proof that if you've got a face that's not getting over, turn them heel.
Yeah.
It worked for The Rock. It worked for Naito. It's worked so many times throughout history. And I'm not saying be unoriginal and just turn all your faces heel when you need to, but
yeah,
just turn Roman Reigns heel. That's what I'm saying. That's my only point that I'm making. Right? Just do it. Just turn him heel. It worked for The Rock. It's worked for Naito. It's worked for so many guys. I can't think of a third one right now, but it's worked. It works a lot. Turn Roman Reigns heel. Yeah. Look how over Naito
Moral
is.
of that story is, with Naito at the head of LIJ, they've become the top-selling stable in New Japan.
Yeah, in Japan, like
worldwide, it's still the Bullet Club, but in Japan alone, it's LIJ.
Yeah,
that is what the power of a good heel can do. So,
and the font they use on the shirts is dreadful. I don't know how they've done it. It's like the Joker font in Microsoft Word.
Tanahashi's going to win though.
No, Naito's going to win. I think. We disagree on this one.
We will disagree on this one.
We might disagree on the main event.
We might disagree on the main event. Let's talk about the main event. I can't wait for this. Match of the year.
It's got to be match of the night.
The main event of last year's Wrestle Kingdom was match of the year.
It was my match of the year.
The co-main event of the year before, Nakamura versus Ibushi, was match of the year.
Right.
So this has the potential to be match of the year. Kenny Omega, the leader of the Bullet Club, cashing in his G1 Climax title match against the leader of Chaos, the reigning champion, Kazuchika Okada. The IWGP Heavyweight title is on the line. Let's break this match down a little bit. As we've said, Omega is cashing in the G1 Climax title shot. Stellar year for the new leader of the Bullet Club. He did suffer a defeat to Kushida at Wrestle Kingdom, but took over the Bullet Club the next night.
Turned on AJ Styles.
Getting shot of some guy called AJ.
I
don't know who he is. He's only champion in some other organisation.
He was my wrestler of the year, I've got to say. But anyway. Yeah.
Since then, he has gone on to hold the Intercontinental title, the Never Openweight 6-man tag titles twice, I believe, with the Young Bucks. And then, of course, the G1 Climax, which he was the MVP of the G1 Climax.
Man. What a year.
He's since gone on to defend that title match and now has his rightful slot in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. Kazuchika Okada is a 5-star match machine. 5-star match with Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. 5-star match with Tomohiro Ishii in the G1 Climax. Could have easily had a 5-star match with Tanahashi in the A-Block Finals. Wrestled Tokyo Sports Match of the Year with Naomichi Marufuji.
Oh, I forgot that match.
Block
that
A.
was great. He lost.
He did lose.
It was a great match, that.
Yeah, he lost to Ishii and Marufuji.
Yeah, it was a great match. The Ishii one was a great match. He's so good.
The Marufuji match was voted Tokyo Sports Match of the Year.
Okay.
Beating the G1 Climax final, beating Wrestle Kingdom, beating...
I don't agree with that, but
the
it was
Block
a great
B
match.
final. It was a great match. I don't think it would be Match of the Year.
But I do think Match of the Year was another of his matches. I think it was Tanahashi.
I may have voted Wrestle Kingdom as Match of the Year, but
I did as well.
That's beyond the story. He did lose the title this year to Naito, but did win it back at Dominion. The guy's only 28 years old. That's
stupid.
what scares me.
It's really stupid, isn't it?
Okada is only 28 years old.
It's kind of like a prodigy. It's weird. But he never was. He never started off good. But then he went to TNA and they just sort of jobbed him
TNA
out.
buried him. The whole thing with Okada killed the TNA New Japan partnership.
Yeah.
Because, again, I take a swig of my beer here. It's my birthday, I'll do what I want. They booked Okada so poorly that it killed the TNA deal.
I mean, at the time, they couldn't have known that Okada was going to be as good as he is, but they must have been given some sort of, can you protect this guy a bit, because we are going to make a big deal out of him. And then, because it's TNA, they probably went, nah. And,
Further proof that Dixie Carter has limited sight on what she's doing with TNA.
She doesn't know wrestling.
She doesn't. While New Japan is not massively storyline based, in my opinion, there is some story going into this. The last show that New Japan had, which was Road to Wrestle Kingdom at Ryogoku, Okada left on a stretcher. It was a tag team match with Okada and Yoshihashi against Fale and Omega.
Omega was really mean.
He promised a Christmas present to Okada, and that Christmas present came in the form of a one-winged angel through a table.
Nice.
Where Okada was stretchered out of Ryogoku. I don't imagine that's going to impact too much on the match, but it could be referenced.
Yeah. It's more about what it means rather than what physical effect it would have.
It's more the Chaos Bullet Club story. The big feud of New Japan in the last couple of years going forward.
We hear Will Ospreay backstage all the time with WCPW. You just hate Bullet Club. You just hate. You can never shut up about how much he hates them.
I feel like Okada is destined for wonderful things. The joy with New Japan, and obviously it was around about this time last year that the WWE talent raid of New Japan took place. They can't get Okada. Okada is signed to a fat deal for another 4 years, and that's very uncommon for New Japan. They normally only sign their talent to a 1 year deal. Okada signed a 5 year deal the day after Nakamura
I think
left.
they just know what they've got on their hands. He's just incredible.
Yeah,
He's so good.
If any guy is going to beat Tanahashi's 7 reigns, it's going to be Okada.
Absolutely.
Because he's still got another 20 years in him.
It's crazy. He's going to go down as one of the best of all time. He's going to go down as
should have been the number 1 wrestler in the world in 2016 with PWI. Not Roman Reigns, but that is
PWI is
a ratings war.
kayfabe, though.
That is a ratings war.
PWI is kayfabe.
Do you want some more stats?
Go on then, before I make my decision.
Okada is the 65th IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Okay.
In his 4th reign, again, only 28 years old, already tied 4th for the number of reigns he's had, with 4, and is tied 4th for the combined defences of the title with 14. Omega, with a win, would become the first Canadian to win the IWGP Heavyweight title.
That's cool.
And only 5 Gaijins have won the title.
Can I guess them? Don't tell me. Right, okay.
Go for it.
Styles.
Correct.
Lesnar.
Correct.
I'm now struggling. Bob Sapp.
Correct.
Oh, what dark years for New Japan there.
Wow.
When they still got involved with the MMA and stuff. Stupid times. Look at them now. Okay. Hogan.
No.
Do you not? Do you never win it?
No.
Okay.
One world tag league when it was MSJ League, but never the title.
I'm struggling now. I don't know. You have to give me the last
Scott
two.
Norton.
Okay.
And Vader.
Oh, Vader. I wouldn't have got Scott Norton. I might have got Vader.
Scott Norton held the title for a year.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yes, he would become the first Canadian to win the IWGP Heavyweight title. The 2 stats that I appreciate on this: only 4 people have held the IWGP Heavyweight title in the last 6 years.
I know these ones. Can I give you these ones?
Go for it.
Styles.
Yeah.
Okada.
Yeah.
Tanahashi. Naito.
Correct. Styles, Okada, Tanahashi, Naito.
That is a protected belt.
But a stat that favours the champion. No G1 Climax winner since 2010 has won the title in a title shot. Wow. Nakamura, Okada twice, Naito and Tanahashi have all failed. The last guy to win it was Satoshi Kojima in 2010.
Wow.
So that favours the champion.
Yeah.
With that in mind, your official prediction. The main event, the leader of Bullet Club versus... Where have you gone?
Just put my beer on the side, sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's a bit of an important moment.
Third time leader of Bullet Club versus the leader of Chaos, Omega Okada. Who do you have? And more importantly, why do you have them?
Right. This is one of those matches, right, where... Because sometimes there's a match at WrestleMania or something, like a big show, where you're like, this could be great as long as this person wins. This is a match where I don't mind what the result is, because it's great either way. It's a great story either way. I think I'd slightly prefer Omega to win just for the what? Like, whoa, that's crazy. Everything's changed. But I think looking at the story as a whole and how Okada's started to become the new Tanahashi, I think Okada's going to retain. I think Okada's going to retain, which is the more sort of... It's weirdly kind of the more conservative prediction.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's more of the outsider prediction because Omega winning's the bigger moment. I think it's Okada, though. I think it's Okada.
You're going to go with Okada.
I am.
I'm going to link this back to the discussion I had about Tetsuya Naito.
Okay.
I think Naito is going to win the New Japan Cup.
Yeah.
And that sets up the title match. Now, Naito against Okada is fair enough, but it's a direct repeat from last year. I love Kazuchika Okada. I've openly stated to you guys and on Twitter and everything like that, he's the best wrestler in the world, bar none. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, don't care.
AJ Styles, maybe?
No, I think he's better than Styles.
Fair enough.
Personal opinion, but I think Okada is the best in the world. He's got so much potential, but the fact that he's so young in terms of wrestlers, there's more titles in him.
Yeah.
And I think Japan, who have a tendency for wanting to put big matches on, as quick as possible, will want to book Naito Omega 2.
Okay.
Considering the success it had last year,
it was such a good
in the
match.
G1 Climax, it was a 5-star match. I think they want to do that again. With that in mind, I think it's going to be match of the year already. I legitimately think it could be match of the year.
There's like 3 matches on this card that could be match of the year.
But I think they're going to pull the trigger. Traditions and streaks and everything are going to be broken here. I'm going to go with Kenny Omega.
You know what? It would make sense. It would make sense if there was ever a time to break from tradition and do something crazy. It's not crazy because Omega's great, but to do something out of character for New Japan. It would be now because 2016 has been such a revolutionary year in wrestling generally.
Yes.
And it would just sort of cap it all off. It would be the ultimate sort of things have changed. I still think Okada.
It's going to be tough.
Oh. I don't mind who wins though.
This match could... New Japan title matches have 60-minute time limits. This legitimately could go an hour. A draw would be the worst thing in the world, but I have an odd feeling they would do more with...
I don't think they'd do a draw.
No. It's definitely not going to happen. I'm going to go a long match, potentially 40-45 minutes.
Yeah.
Both men have the potential to do it. I think it's Omega's time. I
Fair
think
enough.
This puts the Bullet Club back on top and sets up Naito Omega 2. If not with a New Japan Cup win, then maybe at Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think Naito wins one of the two, New Japan Cup or the G1.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see Omega defend the title for a year. He's openly stated that if he wins the title, his first defense, he wants Tomohiro Ishii.
Oh, was he?
He stated in an interview recently that he wanted to defend the contract against Ishii. They weren't in the same block. Omega only had to defend the title against people who he lost to in the G1, and Ishii wasn't one of them, but he stated he wanted to defend the contract against Ishii, and has said that if he wins the belt, he wants to...
Why Ishii? Has he said why?
He just respects Ishii. We know that Omega's got this gimmick of not respecting anybody.
But he respects Ishii.
But he's got a ton of respect for Ishii, and to be fair, if Ishii barked at me, I would have a ton of respect for Ishii because he scares the crap out of me.
He is terrifying.
He's terrifying.
He's only 5'6" or something.
Yeah, he's small but big.
Yeah, he is.
And would kill you with his hands.
Yeah, he's hard.
And then he wants to take the title elsewhere. He wants to make the IWGP title a world title.
Maybe
he wants to defend it in America. He wants to defend it in the UK.
And that links. That links in with what they're going to do in the US as well.
It does.
Ooh.
I'm
gonna have to stick to my guns.
Yeah, go on, stick with your guns. But I'm going to oppose your opinion and go with Kenny Omega.
Fair enough.
I think this puts the Bullet Club back on top, and that way you also have the 3 main guys as champions. I don't think God win. I don't think the Bullet Club win the Never Openweight titles. I sadly don't think Cole wins the world title, but you have the Elite, the main guys in the Bullet Club, on top, titles in hand, looking like the absolute dog's bollocks.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm going to go with Kenny Omega.
Okay.
And that is going to bring a close to
What a card.
Wrestle Kingdom's podcast from
card.
WhatCulture. I'm so devastated that I can't watch this card.
I'll be astonished, right, if it's not show of 2017. Looking at that card now, I'll be very surprised if another show tops it. It might, but this
it might. There is more wrestling than ever.
I reckon
going on
WrestleMania this year is going to be good. It's got the potential to be fantastic.
It does.
But I think this will be card of the year.
I think Wrestle Kingdom in 2016 vastly outmatched WrestleMania by a clear mile.
It did.
I think it has done for a couple of years now.
It has.
WrestleMania
30 was
the closest one in my
31
opinion.
Was good, but 30 was the last sort of really good Mania we had, and 31 had that moment with Rollins, but 30 was the better show.
Yeah, completely agree.
I think this year could be the year that WrestleMania is back, but I don't think it'll top this. I think this is a fantastic card.
If you wish to watch Wrestle Kingdom, it is live on New Japan World. You can go over to njpwworld.com, subscribe to them. It's about £7 a month, and you will be able to watch the entire Wrestle Kingdom card in full, live and on demand. With English commentary as well as Japanese commentary. It is commentated by Kevin Kelly and Steve Corino of Ring of Honor. So expect a lot of super kicks because he's a huge Cole and Young Buck mark, as most of us are in WhatCulture, not going to lie. Again, devastated I can't watch this card live. I'm busy teaching, which is a huge shame.
I might be busy travelling down to Liverpool for you,
because
the WCPW.
next night we have 3 days of touring with WCPW. God, it's going to be the first week of the year and we're going to be exhausted, but that is why we love wrestling.
Just going to stay off Twitter, just avoid all the spoilers, just avoid all of them and just watch them when you get home.
We will give you some thoughts. We could be doing live reactions with some of the guys in the office. I'm not too sure.
I don't know if I'll be there for that, but we could.
We could be doing, so keep an eye out for that. There's no guarantee, but we could be. If you want to get our thoughts on anything New Japan or WWE related, Jack, where can they get thoughts from you on the Twitter box?
At Jack_the_jobber.
You get thoughts from me on Twitter at the Joe Simkins. Let me know what you guys think of this podcast. It's the first time we've covered New Japan in some detail. Candice Everdeen?
I was doing Usain Bolt.
Oh, the bow and arrow thing.
I don't know what I was doing. I thought we were going to end it and I was going to go like that at the end, but then you carried on a bit.
I was just going to go with the goodbye, good night thing.
Fair enough, go for it.
I think we'll go for that. That's going to wrap up the Wrestle Kingdom podcast. I've been Joe from WhatCulture.com.
I've been Jack.
And the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye.
Very good.
And good night.
See you later, guys.
See you later, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Adam Pacitti and I'm your WhatCulture Pro...
Whoa, dickhead.
Oh.
I don't think so. I think you're out of here. Go on your bike. I'll have that. Hello, I'm the brand new WCPW General Manager Martin Kirby and I'm here to tell you about the very first show of 2017 from WCPW, kicking things off on January 5th from Liverpool. And we're going to make things bigger and better than ever before. It's going to feature some amazing matches such as Cody Rhodes versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the Internet title. And because I'm the General Manager, how about we name this show Kirby Mania? It's going to be pink, so make sure you bring your glow sticks. I hate doing these, I haven't got time anymore. American voiceover guy, you take it away.
WCPW proudly presents Kirby Mania, featuring all your favorite WCPW stars, including Bully Ray, Marty Skrull, Joe Hendry, Rampage, Moss and Slater, the WCPW champion Drew Galloway, and the man himself, Martin Kirby. Kirby Mania, Liverpool, January the 5th, 7:30, 2:30 Eastern, live on WhatCulture Wrestling.